Yes, welcome everybody back to Retro TV, and of course today we're going to be taking a little bit more look at some more turntables, and being the silly season, people are out there buying these in the hundreds. We're going to take a little bit of a sneak peek and see what's good and what's not. You in the market for a new record player, or just something to play your vinyl on? As you know, there's plenty of choices out there to look for. Anything from the cheap end, the old suitcase styles, to the top end Technicas and Pioneers that can make your music sound stunning. So what do we got today? Well, let's take a look at these and some others that I have lying around here and see which ones that I prefer. Again, this is just my personal opinion. And I've tested a few out, as I do with all my retro stuff, and I'll give them a whirl. But as you see, you've probably seen plenty of these suitcase style record players everywhere, in stores, online. You just got to look at YouTube for the reviews on them, and you don't need me to tell you what the quality of these are like. But this one here doesn't even have a name. This one was an import to Australia, and on the back it's got a sticker called Audio Sonic. Maybe they were too embarrassed to put their name on it. I don't know. But that's the only notification of what and who brought this out. But they're all made in the same factory. Just put a different sticker name on it. Different sticker name on it. That's it, a different name put on it. But they're best known as the Crosley Cruisers. Now, I don't have to really go into this one, as you've probably seen how cheap, tacky, and how low quality these are. But they are designed for that purpose. Low quality, cheap production, just for someone who just wants to play some old vinyl that they haven't heard for years and they don't care if it gets scratched up. This is a good one for that. With this one, there's one difference that I've not seen in any of the Crosley Cruisers or any other makes that make this, which is a bit strange and unusual. Yes, some of these all have USB connection points, but mainly they have the plug at the back to go into your computer. This one, however, has a USB slot to stick your stick into, like that. But that allows you to record straight from your records to your memory stick without needing a computer. Now, I actually think that was a really good idea. This is just a shame it's on a very poor quality turntable that they did this. But anyway, it's still a good idea, and also you can play your music from this without using the turntable to come through the speakers at the front. So yeah, what more can I say about this? We all know what the quality is like in it. It is pretty low. You're not going to get much out of it. It's good for a little bit of fun, maybe for the kids. That's what I say. Or unless Nana just wants to listen to her old Sound of Music album. So, moving on. Our next one, I did do a review on this one, which was the Ion Photon turntable. Okay, our next turntable we're going to look at is the Ion Photon. Yes, it sounds like something from outer space. Now, I've already done a review on this in my last episode, but I've had this for over a week now, and I just want to share some more thoughts on it that I've experienced with this. Now, I've been using this for well over a week just to play standard records and stuff like that, and to tell you the truth, I really had no issues with it skipping or scratching or anything like that, as these Ions are a little bit build quality better than your Crosley Cruisers. These are like the next stage up from that. They're not the top end type of turntables, they're not the bottom end, they're a really good mid-range turntable, and loads of these sell more than the actual Crosley Cruisers in the Ion range, not just these Photons. So what have I seen over the week? Well, one thing is the lights. Like I said before, they should have put a switch in there to switch these lights off if you don't want to use them, as they are permanently on all the time. Now, when you put this on a shelf like this, and you close the lid down and you're sitting on your sofa, you do tend to get the lights beaming straight into your eyeballs, and it is very bright. So what I come up with was this. Around the lid I put a strip of white insulation tape just around on the eye level, so when you're sitting down you're not beamed with lights and dazzled with them, as they are very bright if you're at eye level with them on this size counter. However, if you put it higher up, you won't have a problem with that. So the good thing about this, as I discovered, is when you put it down, it actually looks like there's a new strip of lights that go right around it. So if you want it to be a little bit more funkier looking, get a strip of white insulation tape. Not only does it stop the beam coming out into your eyes, but it actually makes it look a lot better. Our next turntable on the list is the Pioneer PL320 top end turntable. Yes, this is from 1981, believe it or not. And if you want to get some very high quality sound coming out of those booming speakers, try and shop around for one of these bad boys. Now this, believe it or not, I picked it up from a charity shop for a big £5. Yes, that's 5 buckaroos. And I tell you what, it after all these years, it's built like a tank, and I don't think it will ever break down. But I haven't actually had any issues with this. Now, of course, this one here comes with your weights at the back. As you can see, your counterweights. You have an anti-skate. The arm is made of aluminum, as well as a good head and stylus that you can change for bigger and better styluses. However, I'm not too sure about the stylus on this one. It came with it, but it does sound pretty good. Well, there we go. We've had a look at 3 different types of turntables that you can purchase today. Again, it really depends on who you are, what you want the turntable for, if you want top end quality, or if you just want something basic just to play Nana's old 45s on it. Now what's funny today is, you know, a lot of people back to these Crosley cruisers, they don't have a good reputation, and you could probably see why. However, people do forget that in the late 80s and 90s, they were also producing turntables that were probably just as bad in quality. Let me show you one in comparison. So let's compare some old technology to the Crosley cruiser. Now in the late 80s and 90s, most homes had one of these things. These were an all-in-one system with your 2 tape decks, your graphic equalizer, a radio, and of course your turntable. Now what do we notice here? Even way back then, turntables were made very plasticky and cheap. As you can see by the tone arm and that, it's kind of very similar to the Crosley Cruiser. It doesn't have any counterweights or anything like that, and it has the same, would you believe it, stylus on here. You can actually put that on a Crosley Cruiser and it will still work. Well, some of them do, don't quote me on that, but I've tried this one and it works on the Crosley Cruiser. But even back in those days, everyone was buying these things. You saw these in houses everywhere. And yet, even though these were cheap and tacky as well, people didn't really care back then. As long as they got to play their music, that's all they gave a damn about. And of course there was no YouTube back then, so no one could actually understand what the quality was like with these things. But I'm sure if they did have YouTube back then, it would have been a different place. Yeah. So which turntable are you thinking of buying? As we've seen here today, it's just a few that I've got lying around that I thought I'd just take a look at and show you guys what they are and what you get for your money. Again, when you're looking back at the old suitcase ones, these are a novelty one. These are the bottom of the barrel. You've probably seen them in shops and had a look at these, and very hard plastic with these silly little rubber feet which don't really support your vinyl. This one I know skips a lot, even though it's on a very firm table. It is very light on this tone arm. It's not really calibrated that good, as most Crosley cruisers do. It will which this one has done many times. The only advantage with this one, it has a built-in rechargeable battery and the USB recorder. Now I've not actually seen ones over here in the UK like that. This is an Australian one, with this extra feature on the side. Maybe they should have all had it. So that's the only advantage, is you're going to record to your stick and just put it in your computer, and there you go, you got your music. Yes, the speakers are probably even worse than headphone speakers, to tell you the truth, but they do the job. If you're going out to a park, play some tunes, that's all it's good for. So there we go. Yeah, not much more to say about these things. Maybe they should be in the toy section. As you're stepping up to the Ions, now having a look around online and that, they do reckon that the Ions do sell a lot better than what these do, because they are a little bit better quality than what this thing here is. The one I've got out there, I've been using it for well over a week, playing at least 2 albums a day on it, and to be in total honest, it's not faltered, it's not skipped, it's not jumped, it's not done exactly what this thing would do, and it plays music. Now I've got mine hooked up to an active speaker, so the sound could be better, but I don't have 101 speakers to put around the house or the studio, but I've just got to have hooked up to one active speaker, and it sounds okay. Not the best, but it sounds okay on that system, but that's because I haven't got it hooked up properly. Yeah, it's okay, build quality is good, and of course I've got the Photon, which is the flashing light one, and most people would probably avoid that because of that feature. But there are people out there who would like a little bit of difference in their life, and maybe they want a little bit of a disco in their room. I would recommend that one. Again, plenty of them are sold. There are some ones out there that sadly don't work too good, which I guess in this world of mass production of millions of things, there's going to be 1 or 2 failures out there somewhere in the pipelines. But overall, I would have no hesitation to recommend the Ion brand to whoever wants to buy them, as they will do the job. But then if you want to step up to the next quality, of course you've got to save your money, at least £200 or more, to get something really decent. Or you do what I did and look around your local thrift shops and find one for a £5 like my Pioneer back there. And still the best one out of the lot, I think, because it's got the tone arm, you can adjust the skate and everything like that, and it has a lot more rich bass in it as well. Well, what do you think? We all got views on all of these type of record players and turntables. We know what's good, we know what's bad. But all we can say is, you get what you pay for in this world. You want cheap, you buy cheap. You want good, save your cash. But that really depends on yourself. What are you using it for? What quality do you want? Do you really care about if it scratches? Do you really care that you've got the best studio sound? It's entirely up to you. What you buy, when you buy it, and that can only come from yourself. There we go. That's just my views on turntables. Now we are coming up. This is the end of this series for now. We're going to be coming back in January. In January we're going to be taking a look at a lot of new equipment that we're going to be filming our shows on, new cameras and sound equipment to upgrade and make things a lot better. Also coming in January is 2 of our new channels. One is called the Super 8 Movie channel, and the other one is called the Retro Gamer, looking at all retro games and crazy stuff. But I can't say too much more about that. So 2 new channels coming up in January, as well as the Retro Station. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and for now, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever it may be, and see you in January.